Welcome to WICE's Community Close-Up, our weekly public affairs program, produced in cooperation with the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Community Close-Up brings you a diverse perspective from community leaders throughout West Michigan, and this is WICE Station Manager Phil Tower with one of those great community leaders here in our wonderful city of Grand Rapids, Jazz McKinney. They are Executive Director of the Grand Rapids Pride Center. And we are here to talk about one of the city's most vibrant and impactful long-held summer tradition. Returning to downtown Grand Rapids, we're talking about Grand Rapids Pride Festival, June 20th and 21st. And it will happen in downtown Grand Rapids, primarily on Calder Plaza. There's a lot to talk about, Jazz. First and foremost, welcome back to the program. You guys had some flooding at the Pride Center. How are you all doing there, and what's going
Oh man. Yeah, Phil, that is
on? Sore
man.
topic.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Yeah, that building is the bane of my existence right now.
Oh boy.
But we are almost there. We're getting flooring put down and baseboards put back, and we're hoping that, hopefully by the time this airs, we will be back up and running and open. And, we're hoping to see the community back out to see us and see the new, not new space, the not new, new space, we're calling
Yep.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that flooding, yeah, I don't recommend it. 0 out of 10.
That's 0 out of 10. Yeah. And you're in East Town on Atlas Street, right? And that
Yep.
had that flooded there before?
Not like it did this time. Like that
Oh man.
street floods every now and then, but definitely not like it did this time. Like this time, just like it did in the city, it was just flash floods all over the place. And the drainage system, especially because it's the old school cobblestone, the historic street that they can't touch.
Yeah.
um in our parking lot, it was crazy. The video you could see, it was just swirling water everywhere going under the doors. We have a cooler that we leave outside our door for community to take like free, snacks and water. And it was kind of cool afterwards. In the moment I was kind of pissed, but afterwards it was kind of cool because the cooler, you could just see it floating in a circle around our parking lot.
Well, that's interesting. As long as you had a boat, I guess people could still get to it. I want to just stress to you and our listeners that once you are back in, we want to certainly use WIC to help get the word out, because long after Pride Festival is done, you guys are there year round. You've got peers and social uh, support groups, all kinds of things that are happening, and we need to get you back in there. So once you are back in, we'll make sure to touch base offline and get some announcements on the air. But we're here to talk about Pride. GR Pride is June 20th from noon to 10 p.m. and then Sunday, June 21st from noon to 8 p.m. It was a wonderful but super hot time last year, and the Community
Oh,
Media Center was down there. That was something else, but it's just a great gathering, and I want to encourage our listeners to make sure this is on their calendar, either Saturday or Sunday. Calder Plaza downtown, but you're going to stretch beyond Calder Plaza again. Is that fair to say?
oh yeah, we take up a good about a mile footprint. So we take up all of Ottawa, from Michigan all the way down to Pearl. And then we also take up Lyon from Monroe to Ionia, and then we curve around Ionia from Lyon to Crescent Street. We kind of take up that whole footprint. Calder Plaza, of course, is where like our main stage is, so that's kind of where the music energy and stuff is. But man, is it a vibe. Um, and yeah, our theme this year, that, we come up with a different theme every year, kind of how we feeling. And this year, together we glow. Together we are, we just kind of came up with this because through everything that's happening in the world today, we are still together. We are still working together. We're still shining beyond all the, darkness that is trying to be put upon us. So, our community is resilient. We are strong. We are beautiful. And so it's kind of where that theme came from, and just we love to do Pride Festival because, Pride started as a riot. It started as a protest to brutality towards our community. And that's what it still is today. But it doesn't mean that we can't also experience joy. Um, you know, sure, there's so much happening in the world, and you know, sometimes it definitely seems pretty down and bleak, but Pride Festival, we get to experience that joy. We get to acknowledge what's happening, but we still get to experience that joy and show folks that we are still here and we deserve to be here. And we get to be happy and experience that joy too, and being able to be ourselves.
And it's a celebration, Jazz, 38 years, which is
38
really,
years.
really remarkable. As you kind of look back, I know you haven't been involved all 38 years. We're not going to pin that
It
on you.
feels like it.
But I want to ask you how you've seen it evolve. I mean, it's definitely one of the city's greatest, definitely most proud moments. It is an amazing thing to behold. If our listeners are hearing me say that, you need to come down and see it because it is everybody comes out and it's just a wonderful celebration. And you mentioned a word that is, it's, I don't think people stop and realize joy is manifested in so many different ways. Well, it was on display those 2 days. So there's absolutely no doubt about it. But how have you seen it evolve with your involvement, Jazz? Talk about that, if you will.
Yeah. So I've been involved now for around oh man, now you're making me count, Phil. I've been involved on the committee for about 8 to 9 years, and I've been the chair now for, 6 years, something like that. I don't know, somewhere. And, we've tried to evolve, right? We're trying to always listen to our community and what they need. So, we've definitely made it bigger. We've expanded now. This will be our 2nd year at 2 days, because we just couldn't possibly fit in all of the stuff that folks wanted in 1 day. So that's definitely, a big piece is now that we're 2 days, we've expanded the footprint. So we used to be just on Calder Plaza, like we used to fit all of that just on Calder Plaza. Now we've extended beyond onto the streets, and now we've extended beyond multiple streets. It used to be a ticketed event, and now we're trying to find ways to make it so that it's free for our community, at least to attend, because we understand that not everybody can afford a ticket price. We always tried to keep it affordable. I think our last ticket price was still only $8, but some people still can't even afford $8. For some people, that's groceries. And we didn't want folks to have to choose between their groceries that week or a Pride Festival, so we got rid of the ticket pricing. But one thing that has stayed the same for sure is our love for our community, being able to experience that joy, being able to be around each other, taking care of each other, experiencing that joy, and being able to share that with the breadth of our community too. I think that's definitely the biggest way it's evolved of like it's not just for one piece of our community. It's not just
Right.
for one letter, if you will. It's for everyone. We've tried to make it inclusive so that everyone in our community, every letter in our community, even if you're not sure if you're part of our community, even if you're just an ally to our community, there's something for you and you feel comfortable there, and it's just a good time.
I can definitely underscore that. There's no question about it. And it is a celebration, but I want to go back to what you were just talking about. It is important to raise funds because long after Pride Fest is done, it is important that we have a healthy and well-funded Grand Rapids Pride Center. How, Jazz, can folks who are down at Pride Fest support you during the event? What are the things they should know about?
Yeah. So 100% of the proceeds from the Grand Rapids Pride Festival go right back into the Grand Rapids Pride Center, and it funds our programs and services so that we can sustain those 365 or 366, depending on the year. And,
I hear you.
and so right now we're still looking for volunteers, to help. It takes around a good 350 volunteers to help us run Pride Festival, especially over 2 days. Donating your time, your energy is definitely helpful, but we'll also take donations of money. We also make money off of alcohol sales during the day. That's how we make money there, vendor booths. So we're still looking for vendors. We're still definitely looking for sponsors.
I was just going to ask you, you do have room for vendors. People hearing us on the radio, there is room for them
Yep.
to be
We're
involved.
not sold out of vendors yet, so they can still apply to vendors. Vendors will be open until a week before the event. There's many different ways to get involved. If you volunteer, most of our volunteer shifts are only 3 hours. We still want people to be able to enjoy the event. So most people sign up for maybe one volunteer shift, and then that they still get to explore the event for 7 other hours, or they volunteer one day and then they come to the event the next day. And if you volunteer, you get one free meal ticket and a T-shirt. So we still give you a free incentive to come volunteer as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're speaking with Jasmine Kinney. They're executive director of the Grand Rapids Pride Center as we talk about Pride Fest, June 20th and 21st. And you just heard Jazz mention if your business or organization would like to be at Pride Fest, there are still opportunities for you to get involved. grpride.org/pride-festival is the website, or you can just type in GR Pride Festival in your favorite Googler or whatever you use to search online, and you will find information there on how to be a vendor, how to donate to support the event, how you can volunteer. 300 people, that's a pretty big little army, but it's also a great event, and it might be contagious. You might want to do this year after year because it is truly a wonderful time, and I want to encourage our listeners to make sure it's on their calendar. Saturday, noon to 10 p.m. That's June 20th, Sunday, June 21st, and noon to 8 p.m. And beyond that, June is Pride Month, Pride Celebration Month. Are there any other things our listeners should know about as far as what the Pride Center has going on beyond Pride Fest here in West Michigan?
Yeah, we got a lot going on this month. We just had Pride Night at the Whitecaps happened on the 4th, and we got other collaborations. We love to work with our community as well, because again, it's not just about our center. We partner a lot with different organizations. We're partnering with the CMC. We have Paris is Burning coming at the Wealthy
That's
on June
awesome.
15th.
Yeah.
Um, we also have the Rocky Horror. We work with them. The Shadowcast, they come and do Rocky Horror every time. That's also a fundraiser for the Pride Center. That is coming up. And, just various other things that we have going on. We have a Pride calendar that showcases any event that people are partnering with us or places where you might see us during Pride Month. So, yeah, check us out on our website, or like you said, your favorite search engine. We're around our favorite social medias, Facebook, Instagram. We're on those. You can search us Grand Rapids Pride Center or Grand Rapids Pride Festival. We're under both of those. So yeah, we'll definitely be moving and grooving during Pride Month. So, definitely out there.
And this is a terrific opportunity to get involved and help out the Pride Center again year round. There are always opportunities, and you can learn more at grpride.org. That's grpride.org. Again, the theme for this year is Together We Glow for the Grand Rapids Pride Festival, the 2026 edition, June 20th and 21st. Jasmine Kinney, anything else you wanted to share with our listeners before we wrap up?
No, I always appreciate it and appreciate, being here with you, Phil. And yeah, I hope to see all of you and all the listeners sometime during this month.
We are looking forward to it. That is Jazz McKinney, one of our community's greatest assets. They are executive director of the Grand Rapids Pride Center. Again, online at grpride.org. You've been listening to WYCE's Community Close-Up, our weekly public affairs program, produced in partnership with the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. I'm WYCE's Phil Tower. We'll do this again next week on WYCE.